This is going to be my review on the North Face Hedgehog men's hiking shoes. These are the low top versions. They also have a mid version of the same shoe. I just preferred the low top version. Now, they do say that they're waterproof, and I would say that they have good water resistance, but they're not waterproof. I have worn these in deep snow and my feet were pretty wet. So they're nice shoes. I don't think that they're too expensive, but they do have great performance. They have great traction, but one thing I've learned about going up in the mountains or coming down is when you're going down, none of this traction on here is going to help if it's loose dirt or loose gravel. You're going to need to have some kind of trekking poles to help stabilize you. Now, when I wore these in the mountains in the snow, I would say that they performed okay, but anytime that you're on ice, you're going to slip and fall, which I did multiple times. But in shallow snow, I would wear these no problem. And when the snow is a little bit deeper, I needed a different pair of shoes for that. These aren't going to work for that. But these I have worn extensively over the past few months hiking, and they've performed really, really well in all the conditions that I've used them for, except for the deep snow, which they're not made for. That was just me not knowing how deep the snow was going to be in the mountains. Now, the higher I got up in the mountains, there was more snow. Now, typically, there'll be people with four-wheelers or snow machines that will mat the snow down, and it'll give you an area to pretty much walk on where you're not having to trek through the snow. I don't have snowshoes, and I just basically winged it, and I was out there in the deep snow, and even though the shoes say that they're waterproof, my feet were wet. So, but they do dry fast, and they do say drive in on them. They fit extremely well. I do like how rugged that they are. Now, I did learn that even though that the tread pattern is really aggressive, you got to beware of loose dirt and loose gravel. So I was thinking that I'd be able to, with the traction on the shoes, be able to go down a steep mountain a-okay, and I realized that I'm going to need some trekking poles to help balance myself. I do like the fit, especially because of how thick the strings are. The strings essentially could double as paracord. In a survival situation, one of the things that you need is some cordage, and this can double as some cordage in a survival situation. These aren't the cheapest shoes, but they're not the most expensive either. So they would give you a fair amount of water resistance up to a certain point, but you see here, there's holes in this material, so if you're, standing in a river or something, you're gonna have your feet wet, right? If you're in deep snow, they're gonna be wet. But they do dry fast, they are extremely well-fitting, they are well-made, and I've used these for 3 months and you can't even tell. I've worn these extensively, and when I go on my day hikes, usually the minimum amount of time that I'll be out is 3 hours. That's like the minimum. I've worn these for up to 7 hours at one time continually walking, and I didn't have any blisters on my feet or any rubbing on the heel or any problems with the toe or anything like that. So I always say that you get what you pay for, and these are a quality shoe. Now you can get the mid version as well. I just prefer the low tops. I do have a pair of leather hiking boots from the North Face I'm going to also be doing a review on. But these, the North Face Hedgehog hiking shoes, are a great value. So if you're looking for some hiking shoes to go out, these are a good option. They also have the mid, like I said. So the color choices are very limited, but at the same time, when you're out in the woods, that's not going to be as important as the performance. So stay tuned for more reviews on some of my North Face equipment.